On dirt racing news at the Ohsweken Speedway here, July the 25th, 2014. Regular night of racing here for the Core Pack merchandising, 360 sprint cars, but a special guest in here in the house, Shane Stewart, here to drive the Hills number 77. Shane, well, first off, welcome back north of the border here to Ohsweken in Canada.
Yeah, thank you. Just happened to have an off weekend with a two-car, and you know, obviously Miles has been gracious enough to come here and get a few laps before the Outlaw show is here, and our plan is to maybe go and try run Cornwall as well. So 2 Outlaw races, 2 360 races, you know, it's a pretty good weekend. So just got to thank Miles for inviting me back up here, and I've been in this car a couple times. It's been fast every time I've been in it, and just looking forward to getting some more laps here at Ohsweken.
You've had tons of experience here at Ohsweken, like you said, and tons of success to go along with that. What is it about this racetrack that seems to suit your style and has allowed you to have that success?
Yeah, I mean, it's a momentum racetrack, and that kind of suits my driving style, I guess you could say. You know, I've been lucky to come here with the 3G guys, and they've always had a really fast race car, and they switched to a cool chassis, and Miles actually bought one of these cars, and we went and ran Charlotte at the end of last year with the World of Outlaws and had a couple good runs, and but yeah, we've had some success here, and I'm looking forward to coming back here and racing with the 3G guys, and you know, for the Canadian Nationals, are going to be able to do that one more time before we go run the full Outlaw deal with Larson Marks Racing. But yeah, I mean, anytime I can come up here, you guys have a great group of fans that follow the racing up here, and you know, it's always cool to pull into this place because Glenn's done a great job with the facility, and he does a great job with the racetrack, and the way it flows just kind of seems to suit my driving style.
Now, when you come here north of the border, it's usually for the Canadian Sprint Car Nationals in September, and you won the Northern Summer Nationals here last year as well, and pretty much blew the field away. What does it mean to you to come up here and compete in those races, because you do only get to come up here every so often?
Well, I mean, like I said, I enjoyed coming up here just because of the facility, and you know, the people up here just care about racing, and you can tell when you pull into the place, you know, they dump a lot of money into it, and you know, they try to have the best track service they can. You know, you can tell just with the Case tractors, you know, the quality of stuff that rolls around the track to try to get us a good service is top notch, and you know, it makes you want to come back up here and race. I mean, there's not really that many good racetracks, you know, great facilities like this one, even in America. So you know, it's always good to come up here and support Glenn and Miles and all the guys that dump money into this place. And you know, like I said, some of the bigger 360 races is up here. So anytime we come up here and get some laps, it's worth it.
Because you race south of the border for the most part, is there another track that this one most relates to?
Oh, good question. You know, there's a lot of flowing racetracks. You know, Ohsweken's kind of unique. You know, most tracks don't have a wall, you know, on the front straightaway, back straightaway, and no wall in the corners. You know, you either have a wall all the way around it, or you have one wall either on the back straightaway or front straightaway. So that's unique. You know, honestly, there's probably several racetracks that kind of resemble the shape of the racetrack, but the way it races is pretty unique. So, you know, you got to be able to be pretty versatile here. You know, you got to be able to you know, run the bottom in 1 and 2. You know, and if you need to run it in 3 and 4, you got to be able to go down there. But typically, the fast way around is around the top, and kind of suits our style.
Let's talk quickly about the Larson Marks car that you're running south of the border. You're running a part-time schedule this year, kind of all around the U.S., try to build up a notebook, and then the plan is to go full-time with the World of Outlaws next year. What's the main strategy as you guys go through this season and moving into next year?
Well, honestly, just, you know, getting Steve Succi, the crew chief, and I on the same page. It's, you know, we've had our good nights, we've had our bad nights. You know, they've come out with a different tire compound this year with the World of Outlaws, and it's been a struggle for not only me, but for most of the guys out there. So, you know, our main thing is just to try to get more consistent. You know, to win a championship with those guys, you can't have DNFs, but you obviously have to qualify in the right spot. Take advantage of your front row starting. You know, if you get to start in the front row of a heat, taking advantage of that, and just getting yourself put in the dash every night. And if you can do that, you know, your chances of winning go up, because you can't, the days of starting outside of row 2 or 3 and winning one of those races is pretty slim. It does happen, but not very often. So you know, that's our main goal. It's just try to get consistent this year, so when next year rolls around, we're both hitting on or both on the same page as far as setups, and he knows what I'm thinking, and I kind of know what he's thinking, and that's the whole key, man. It's good communication between the driver and crew chief, and hopefully we're working on it. Like you said, we're building a notebook, and it's been a struggle at times, but for the most part we've had pretty good speed everywhere we've been, and we've tried a different couple engine combinations, and we're learning more about those, and who knows? I mean, we still have probably 25 races left on our schedule, and hopefully we can get a couple more wins.
Last thing for you, obviously a couple of big races coming up here with the Outlaw Tour, primarily going into the Knoxville Nationals at Knoxville Raceway there in Knoxville, Iowa. I mean, that's the biggest race there is in sprint car racing. How do you make sure that when you go to that race in a couple of weeks that you're at the top of your game?
Well, I've had some success there, the last 4 or 5 years, running up front with the 360 and 410. I like that place. It suits my driving style, kind of similar to Oswego. The atmosphere is just, you can't really describe it, honestly. It just, the fans there are spectacular, and we all get campers, and all my buddies show up, and we all camp out behind the racetrack, and it's just a good, fun week. There's a serious side of it, and then there's a kind of a relaxation side of it as well that I enjoy, and it's just a big week. Like you said, it's our biggest race of the year, and we've been knocking on the door to winning the 410 Nationals, and hopefully we can do that this year. We went and ran there earlier in the year. I think it was May with the World of Outlaws, and had a top 3 finish. So my confidence generally goes up a little bit when we roll in that place, just because I know I got a good shot at running well, and who knows? I think if we can put ourselves in position to win that race, I think we could have a shot.
Now, you've already thanked Miles Hills for helping you get here to Canada this weekend. I'm sure there's some other people you'd like to thank for your 2014 season as well. Yeah,
I mean, of course, all the guys that help Larson Marks. I mean, and plus the guys that help Miles. There's so many guys behind the scenes, the crew guys that work their tail off to prepare these race cars, so we can come out here and have a good time. I mean, it's endless hours that go into these cars, and you can't do it without each and every one of them, and they work their butt off for me on both teams, so it's just always an enjoyable pleasure to come here and race for Miles and all the guys, and we've become pretty good buddies, and yeah, so hopefully we get I think we drew 3 tonight for our starting position, so hopefully we can get ourselves in that invert and put on a good show for the fans.
Well, I know there's a whole lot of fans that are happy that you're coming here this evening. We're happy that you took the time to talk to us, so thanks for this, Shane.
No problem. Thank you.
For On Dirt Racing News at the Oswego Speedway, July the 25th, 2014, Shane Stewart set to do battle the Corpac Merchandising 360 Sprint Cars. I'm Clayton Johns.